This next game we're going to take a look at is easily one of my favorite Ulf Andersson games. And he starts off with typical solid move, knight f3. And he gets his English position. And the Grunfeld is a very dynamic and interesting opening. But the thing about playing someone like Ulf, he doesn't want to get into any complicated theory or nastiness with you. He just wants a solid position. So here's a position that he made famous, e4. And it seems like Ulf is just directly headed into mainline classical Grunfeld. And that's why the opponent captures on c3. But Ulf doesn't. Ulf says, would you like equality? Take it, please. We can trade queens right now. You do? Okay. And I think most players would go, would you like a draw? After trading queens. Ulf doesn't hear them. Ulf keeps playing. That is a critical, we'll say, psychological memory marker. Is if you feel that you can't lose, why aren't you playing on? That's, I'd say, the Ulf Andersson rule of chess. If you feel like you cannot lose, play on. That's simple. Well, his opponent was clearly prepared. This game happened in 1979. He played the best move in the position here. f6, a very unnatural move. And I already like this position for white because these are the types of positions that are extremely dangerous when you're playing against a strong master. It's one slight inaccuracy, and they already have steady pressure forever as the queens are off the board. f6 controls both the e5 and g5 critical squares, and you're getting ready to play e5 to lock up the structure a bit, so you have time to develop. Ulf begins to optimize, puts his bishop on the best square, so that when e5 takes place, the c5 square belongs to us. His bishop can't get to a good square. Knight d2. Now it's already a good moment to pause and figure out, what do you want to be doing here with white in this symmetrical pawn structure? How do you get more out of the position? Well, good bishop, bad bishop. What's your good bishop, what's your bad bishop, and why? Well, in this case, this is our good bishop as it agrees with the pawn that's locked in the center. This is our bad bishop because all it can ever do is defend pawns in the center. It can't attack. His good bishop, our bad bishop. Would you like to trade? Straightforward, simple. We've improved our position by getting rid of his better minor piece. Now after knight d7, what's the plan? What does black want to do? Well, black wants to play bishop c5. Trade off his bad bishop for our good bishop. What does Ulf do? No. Straightforward and logical. Knight b6. Goes, well, if I can't trade bishop, if I can trade knights, or a bishop for your knight here, we can get a little bit of an imbalance. Or simplify in order to try to hold. No, that's okay. Annoying micro threats. Pressure, pressure, pressure. So check. Where's the best place for the king to go? You want to stay with the pawns and hold the base pawn. The other base pawn is taken care of. Bishop e7. Now there's no rush here. Maybe I want to play c4 at some point, but the b4 pawn would be weak, so a3. f5, okay. You're trying to force my hand a bit here. I don't mind so much if potentially black takes, because the pawns will be targets. I do mind, though, if he pushes by. But it's a good moment to notice after f5 is played. The e-pawn is still stuck. e5. That's on a dark square. He still has the bad bishop. We have the option to create a permanent imbalance in the position. Now, the game kind of changes flow a bit to good knight versus bad bishop. I want you to pay careful attention to how Ulf just squeezes out every last ounce of counterplay here. Knight c4, hitting the pawn. And again, I'm not worried about him capturing the e4 pawn. Pawns are still fixed, easy targets. So Ulf expands on the queen side. In case we need to capture and try to win the e-pawn. And not a5, because it could be strongly met by b5. b5 first. And only now a5. Everything is fixed. Good time for a breakthrough. The knight is well placed, so let's capture with the rook. Cut off key squares. Try to coax the king to go to b8 so we can swing the other rook over to a1. And notice, good knight, bad bishop. Bishop on f6. What can he do? Making sure you can't play c6. Any variation. So black is barely holding on here. No hurry. King b3. Now, check. Bring the rook back. Should we trade? No. Our piece is better than our opponent's. Much better to keep the tension. Keep his piece bad. You have to be watching out for knight takes b6 in some positions due to the pin. So we'll just play rook d5. Keep an eye on the e-pawn. Well, we've got some pawns on dark squares, so let's go ahead. h3, pass to our opponent. Okay, you want to pass as well? Well, let's make a plan here now. How can we improve the position? Our knight is excellent, but it can be better. Let's jump around a bit, shall we? Knight d3, c4, inviting the final breakthrough. Hard to hold everything together. Now that that rank has been cleared, no pawns on dark squares. C-pawn is soon to fall. And that's it for this one. Systematic and clean and based off of concrete chess principles. Traded queens early. He knew what trades to make. And he makes it look easy. versus another master. It's not all about bashing somebody with tactics. If you understand long-term point A to B thinking, hard to beat a man who plays this way.